sir. Which weapons?
You sunk my battleship! Hi guys, it's Adaption here and welcome to my review of Battleship, the film based off the Hasbro game of the same name. Now the film follows a naval fleet out doing training missions, and guess what they come across? That's right, aliens preparing to dominate our planet Earth. Now admit it, when you saw the trailer to this film, your instant reaction was to go,
"What the fuck are you talking about?"
Now I will admit, I wasn't really looking forward to this film at all, and we were all thinking the same thing, that Hasbro and Hollywood thought, hey, it worked for Transformers, why won't it work for Battleship? You know, a game where you stick white pins and red pins into a board and model ships, and at the end of it, when you lose, you scream, "You sunk my battleship." I mean, can you not see the potential seeping from that board game? So pretty much when I went into Battleship, I was literally expecting nothing but Transformers on water. Believe it or not, guys, but Battleship is actually a good film.
Bullshit!
Hey, let me explain. Now the reasons why Battleship is actually a good film, it's surprisingly funny. Battleship's humour was surprisingly really good and actually funny. It had the whole audience laughing their asses off when we were watching it. I think the reason why is because it's the more broader sense of humour. It's the physical, it's the verbal references. There's just a very wide range of humour in this film. It's not the very narrow humour that you'd get in, say, Transformers. You know, the Michael Bay racist humour. And of course, because they're fighting aliens, there is definitely a ton of action sequences. And the action sequences are very well done. The special effects are absolutely fine. It's not dizzy and disorientating and shaking about and making you feel physically sick. No overkill, and there's definitely no lack of action sequences. So that's a good thing, because there's a very good steady pace of story, drama, and action sequences. The film, overall, is very well paced. It's really surprising how a film that's based off a board game is surprisingly better paced than a Transformers film directed by a guy that has a fetish for explosions. Another good aspect of the film is the fact that it pays homage to the board game, and if you guys have seen from the trailers, the aliens' bullets are like the pins in the game, and there are also references to the grid that you have to use to guess where your enemy's battleships are. And it's just a really nice touch because it doesn't feel very gimmicky. They don't use it too much, but when they do, it's more of a nice touch than an annoyance to find these homages in the film. So there is only really one complaint I have about the film, as I think the casting wasn't done as well as it could have. Taylor Kitsch did a surprisingly good performance as the main character. He's definitely better in here than he was in John Carter of Mars, but that's not really saying anything because John Carter was pretty bad. Alexander Skarsgård, surprisingly, is very disappointing. I mean, considering that there's films he has done in his past, especially True Blood, to see him in here, it's, I don't think it's that he is a bad actor. He's a fantastic actor, but the character he's portraying, he's just that character that's in every single film. And he's not even in it for that long. And that's the problem. You get a big actor like that who plays a stereotypical character, and because he's a good actor and the character's not very well written, he comes across really awful, which is surprising, and I particularly didn't like that character much. And continuing with the bad cast aspect, they should not, I'm going to admit it, but they should not have cast Liam Neeson. But let's just get this out of the way. Liam Neeson does a good job. He plays the typical, I'm a hard-ass naval guy who's gonna make your life in the Navy a living frickin' hell. You do not deserve my daughter because you are nothing but scum. Absolute scum. That's the sort of character he plays. He's in it for 10 minutes. I am not kidding. The trailer makes it look like he's actually involved in the fight and possibly dies. He comes back for 2-minute segments, literally about 6 times. They just cut back to a 2-minute segment of Liam Neeson trying to contact people. It's a shame because it's Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is badass, and you have him not do any action scenes. He doesn't even say that you sunk his battleship. His presence in the film literally feels like they just threw him in because he'd finished Wrath of the Titans, honestly. Here I'm just really nitpicking for those that want me to nitpick, because there's a lot of people out there that really do not want to like this film because it's essentially a Transformers rip-off on the water. And yes, visually it does look like Transformers, but it's definitely a lot well paced, the action scenes are good, and it's actually funny. So overall, the film is a very light, entertaining action film that engages a broader, wider audience. Well, I'm going to give Battleship a 3.5 out of 5. It's nothing spectacular, but it's a surprisingly good and entertaining light entertainment action flick. So thank you guys for watching my Battleship review. I will be back for more, but for now, this is Xander Falk saying goodbye. We've got our movie.